Now today we will do the verification of laws of reflection by the Huygens principle. What is reflection and what are the laws of reflection? About that you know. First lie the incident ray, reflected ray and normal, all the three lies on the same plane. And number two, angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So these laws we will verify by using Huygens principle. Here sigma is a reflecting surface and AB is a plane wave front. AB is a plane wave front which incidents at point A of reflecting surface at time t equals to 0. Therefore, A will become the source of secondary waves at the time t. Here I have assumed that AB is a reflecting surface and AB is a plane wave front, AB is the wave front, and these are the direction of waves. As you know that waves always travel normal to the wave front. Waves always travel normal to the wave front. It is clear? Yes, sister kuch. Waves always travel normal to the wave front. So see here, this is the wave front and these are the direction of the waves. Let this wave front falls at the point A of reflecting surface at time t equals to 0. So from Huygens principle, it will become the source of secondary waves at what time? At time t equals to 0. From Huygens principle, source A will become the source of secondary waves at what time? At time t equals to 0, and it will start emitting out the secondary waves at time t equals to 0. These secondary waves will travel with what speed? With the speed of light, which is the speed of the original wave, which is the speed of the original wave. Now see here, wavefront is moving in this way. You can see here wavefront is moving in this way. When it will move further, what will happen? The other points of the reflecting surface will become the sources of secondary waves. When wavefront advances in the forward direction, when wavefront AB is advancing in the forward direction, what will happen? Other points, it will reach at the other points of reflecting surface, and when it will reach at the other points of reflecting surface, they will also become the source of secondary waves. At last, point C will become the source of secondary waves. At the end, point C will become the source of secondary waves. It is clear? Here we have assumed that point C is reached by the wavefront AB at time t. मीन्स वेवफ्रंट ए बी को सी पॉइंट पर पहुंचने में कितना टाइम लग गया? टी टाइम लग गया. देयरफॉर इट विल बिकम द सोर्स ऑफ सेकेंडरी वेव्स एट व्हाट टाइम? एट टाइम टी. नाउ we and these secondary waves will be emitted in the same medium because they cannot go in this direction. They cannot go in this direction. Why? Because this is a reflecting surface. Now we will observe the shape of the secondary waves emitted by various points of the reflecting surface at this time. Means reflecting surface के various points से क्या है? secondary waves emit हो रही है. उनकी पोजीशन t टाइम पर कहां पर है वो चीज हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे. So see here, those which are emitted from here, they will get how much time for the motion? They will get t time for the motion because it has become the source of secondary waves at what time? T equals to 0, and we have to find the position at what time? At time t. So how much time these waves will get? The waves which are emitted from here will get? They will get time t. So in time t they will travel by what distance? They will travel by c into t. It's clear? They will travel by c into t distance. Therefore, secondary waves which are emitted from point A will grow in a hemisphere of radius c into t. They will grow in a hemisphere. Why do they grow in the hemisphere? Because they cannot travel in this direction and they are traveling in all the direction. So in this side they will travel in all the direction, therefore they will grow in a hemisphere of radius c into t. Therefore what will be AD will be equal to c into t. मीन्स इसका मतलब क्या है, जो सेकेंडरी वेव्स यहां से t इक्वल्स टू 0 पर इमिट होंगी वो टाइम t पर कहां होंगी, इस सरफेस के, इस स्फीयर के सरफेस पर होंगी, इस स्फीयर के सरफेस पर होंगी. नाउ दोज विच आर इमिटेड फ्रॉम हियर, व्हाट विल बी देयर साइज, they will be just a point, they will be just a point. And why they will be just a point? Because it has become the source of secondary waves at what time, at it has become the source of secondary waves at the time t, and we are observing the position at the time t. मतलब जिस मोमेंट पर ये सेकेंडरी वेव का सोर्स बना है उसी मोमेंट पर हम पोजीशन ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, देयरफॉर इट विल बी जस्ट ए पॉइंट. From C dry tangent plane, from C dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A, from C dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A, say CD. CD will be the new position of wavefront at the time t. CD will be the reflected wavefront at the time t. And why do we say reflected wavefront? Because these secondary waves have emitted because of the reflection. Because of the reflection. So CD will be the new position of wavefront at time t, or it will be the reflected wavefront. Now one more thing. Here I have told that this wavefront AB is reaching at the point C in what time? In time t. So what will be the distance BC? BC will be equal to C into T. It will be equal to C into T. It's clear? Because it is reaching from here to here in what time? Waves are reaching from point B to the point C in what time? In time t. Therefore, what will be the distance BC? It will be equal to C into T. So see here, how will you draw this diagram? So first you see this. First you will make a reflecting surface AB. On that reflecting surface, this is the wavefront AB. We will draw a wavefront AB, plane wavefront AB. Then you draw two normal directions to the AB. AB से दो normal lines draw कर दें. AB से एक पॉइंट, एक लाइन ड्रा करेंगे AB के ऊपर परपेंडिकुलर at the point A, and the other line will be drawn normal to AB at the point B. These will be the direction of the incident wave. It's clear? AB is the wavefront and these are the directions of the incident wave. It's clear? Then you measure this distance and take a radius of equal to BC. Take a radius equal to BC. With A as center, you draw the circle here. जितना BC का लेंथ है उतनी लेंथ का रेडियस लेके एक यहाँ पर सर्किल ड्रा करें with A as center, and from C draw a tangent over this. It's clear? So this way you will draw the diagram. So you can write down. All of you write. सब लोग जल्दी लिखना शुरू करें. लेट सिग्मा इज ए रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस. सब लोग जल्दी लिखें क्योंकि लेट सिग्मा इज ए रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस एंड ए बी इज ए प्लेन वेव फ्रंट. ए बी इज ए प्लेन वेव फ्रंट विच इंसिडेंट्स एट द पॉइंट ए ऑफ रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस, which incidents at the point A of the reflecting surface at time t equals to 0. At time t equals to 0. Let point C of the reflecting surface, let point C of the reflecting surface is reached by wavefront AB. Is reached by wavefront AB in the time t, is reached by wavefront AB in the time t. Therefore, BC equals to CT. Therefore, BC equals to CT. Have you noted? Let sigma is a reflecting surface and AB is a plane wavefront which incidents at point A of reflecting surface at time t equals to 0. Have you noted this thing? Let point C of the reflecting surface is reached by wavefront AB at the time t. Therefore, from next line you can write, therefore from Huygens principle, A will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to 0, while C will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to t. At time t equals to t. The points which are lying on the reflecting surface, after point A, you can see here, after point A and before point C, they will become the source of secondary waves. Later to A, but before to C. Now see here, this wavefront AB is reaching at these points after A. It is reaching at the point P after A, but reaching here before reaching at the C. Therefore, P will become the source of secondary waves after A but before C. It's clear? Now you write down in next line, the secondary waves emitted from point A. Will grow in a hemisphere of radius C into T. The secondary waves emitted from A will grow in a hemisphere of radius C into T at the time t. Will grow in a hemisphere of radius C into T at the time t, while those which are emitted from C will be just a point. You can write down AD equals to CT. It is equal to CT. From C dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A. From C dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A. Say CD. CD will be the new position of wavefront. At the time t. Will be new position of wavefront at the time t. Or it is the reflected wave front, or it is the reflected wave front. It is the reflected wave front. Now all of you see here. Now we will verify that whether CD is the reflected wave front, whether it is the new position of wave front or not. How will you verify? If the secondary waves emitted from various points touch CD at the time t, if the secondary waves emitted from various points of reflecting surface touching CD at the time t, then the CD will be the new position of wave front. It's clear? कैसे वेरीफाई करेंगे? अगर रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस के हर एक पॉइंट से जो सेकेंडरी वेव्स इमिट हो रही हैं, दे आर रीचिंग ऑन द CD एट द टाइम t, then it will be the new position of wave front. It's clear? So you write down one heading to verify that CD is the new position of wave front. That CD is the new position of wave front at the time t. At the time t. In next line you write down, all of you write quickly. In order to verify, not in order to verify, you write down CD will be the new position of wave front. CD will be the new position of wave front at the time t if secondary waves emitted from various points of reflecting surface, secondary waves emitted from various points of reflecting surface touch CD at the time t. Touch CD at the time t. Touch CD at the time t. You write down. In order to verify this, take an arbitrary point. Take an arbitrary point on the reflecting surface. Arbitrary point on the reflecting surface. Arbitrary means not any fixed point. It is not any fixed point. Those who have taken mathematics, they know that if you prove anything for the arbitrary quantity, then what will happen? It will remain true for every. It will be in general true. So take an arbitrary point P on the reflecting surface such that AP upon AC equals to X. AP upon AC equals to X. You write down. AP upon AC equals to X. From point P, draw perpendicular. From point P, draw perpendicular on the hemisphere centered at, from point P, draw perpendicular on AB and CD. From point P, draw perpendicular on AB and CD. Say PM and PN. Say PM and PN. Say PM and PN. Now see here. Now we will determine the length of PM and PN. Length of PM and PN. And why we have drawn the perpendicular here? P point पर ये वेव फ्रंट कैसे पहुंचेगा? थ्रू द रूट MP. क्यों? क्योंकि वेव्स ट्रेवल करती हैं वेव फ्रंट के नॉर्मल. सो P पॉइंट पर अगर ये वेव फ्रंट पहुंचेगा, सो इट विल रीच थ्रू MP. एंड इफ द रिफ्लेक्टेड वेव्स आर रीचिंग ऑन CD, then they will go on the CD through this path Pn. It's clear? Because they can reach only normal to the wavefront. It is clear or not? So see here, we will determine the length of Pm and Pn. So if you see this triangle AMP and triangle ABC, this angle equals to this angle 90. This angle is common. It is clear? And this is common, therefore third will be automatically equal. It is clear? Therefore both the triangle will be similar. And when they will be similar, ratio of corresponding sides will be same. So we will not write the similarity, because we will only write the physics part, not the mathematics part. So we will directly write triangle AMP is similar to the triangle ABC. It is clear? It is similar to the triangle ABC. No need to show that these angles are equal. Therefore, PM upon BC equals to PM upon BC equals to AP upon AC. AP upon AC. PM, what is BC here? Already you know it is equal to C into T. What is AP upon AC? AP upon AC is X. So you can write PM equals to XCT. It will be equal to XCT. It is clear? This thing is clear? Now similarly, if you see here, triangle CNP, this triangle, and triangle CDA, both are similar. Why? This equals to this 90 degree. Bola karo. This angle is common. Therefore, third will be automatically equal. So you can write triangle CNP similar to the triangle CDA. And when these are similar, then ratio of corresponding sides PN upon AD will be equal to CP upon AC. It is clear? PN upon AD is equal to CP upon AC. So you can write PN therefore upon AD equals to PC, that CP upon AC. Now see here, PN you have to determine. What is AD? AD is given equal to C into T. Now CP you can write as AC minus AP. AC minus AP. CP can be written as AC minus AP divided by AC. When you will simplify further, what will you get? AC upon AC is 1. It's clear? AC upon AC is 1. AP upon AC minus AP upon AC. Here PN upon CT. Now already you know AP upon AC is what? AP upon AC already you know it is equal to X. So it will be equal to 1 minus X. Therefore, Pn equals to 1 minus X into C into T. That you can take equation 2. Now see here, now we will find out the time taken by wavefront AB to reach at the point P. Time taken by, you write down, taken by wavefront AB to reach at point P. point P. So already I have told that this wavefront will reach at the point P via the path PM. It's clear? Because this is the normal direction to the AB. Therefore, what will be the time taken? T1 will be equal to distance upon speed. What is speed? It is c. So what is PM here? So PM, you know, it is equal to x ct upon c. When you will simplify, it will be equal to c and c cancel, that is x into t, that is T1 equals to x into t. T1 equals to x into t. Now see here, it means this wavefront AB has taken time T1 in reaching to the point P. It has taken time T1 in reaching to the point P. It will become the source of secondary waves at what time? At time t equals to T1. And we have to observe the position at what time? At time t equals to t. So how much time is left for it? T minus T1. T minus T1 each time is left for growing. It is clear? Because we have to observe the position of all the secondary waves at what time? At the time t. So see here, from Huygens principle, you write down, from Huygens principle, P will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to T1. P will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to T1. It will start emitting out, hemispherical wavefront at the time t equals to T1. At the time t equals to T1. The radius of, in next line, the radius of these secondary wavelets, secondary hemispherical waves, the radius of hemispherical wavefront at the time t. The radius of hemispherical wavefront at the time t. What will be the radius of hemispherical wavefront emitted by it at the time t? It will be equal to c. What is the speed? C, and how much time is left? T minus T1. C into T minus T1. It is clear? So you substitute the value of T1, it is equal to x into t. You take out t common, that is c into t, 1 minus x. It is clear? Now all of you see here. As you already know, this you can write as 1 minus x into ct. Now you can see here, from the equation 2 you will find that it is equal to what? It is equal to Pn. It is equal to, this thing is what? This thing is Pn. Therefore, it is equal to Pn. Here you can write from equation 2 means, all of you see here, means the secondary waves which are emitted from here at the time T1, they will grow in a hemisphere of radius equal to Pn, equal to this. It is clear? Now see here, you note down this. Since Pn is perpendicular to CD, since Pn is perpendicular to CD, you can see here, Pn is perpendicular to CD, because already you have drawn the perpendicular. Pn is perpendicular to CD. Therefore, because what is the condition of tangency? Surface will be touched to waves only when there is this angle is 90 degree. If angle is not 90, then it will not touch. So since Pn is perpendicular to the CD, therefore secondary waves emitted from P, secondary waves emitted from P will touch to the CD, at time t, will touch to the CD at time t, because at the time t they have covered what distance? This, from here to here and then from here to here. And since Pn is perpendicular to CD, therefore secondary waves emitted from P will touch to the surface CD at the time t. It is clear? Since P is an arbitrary point, therefore it will be true for all other points lying on the reflecting surface. It will be true for all other points lying on the reflecting surface. Therefore, CD will be the new position of wavefront. CD will be the new position of wavefront at the time t. Now you can write down further next heading: verification of laws of refraction. Verification of laws of refraction. This heading, this is subheading. You write down. Here in the second part of the derivation, I have proved that CD is the new position of wavefront, because in first part directly it was stated that CD is the new position of wavefront at the time t, but in the second part it has been verified. Now in the third part we will verify the laws of reflection. So you write down, to verify laws of reflection, not refraction, laws of reflection. So see here, all of you see here, this is the incident wavefront. AB is the incident wavefront, CD is the reflected wavefront, and this is the reflecting surface. All the three are lying on the same plane. So you write down, from the geometry of the diagram, it is clear that incident wavefront and reflected wavefront, reflected wavefront and reflecting surface all lies on the same plane. Incident wavefront, reflected wavefront and reflecting surface all are lying on the same plane. Have you noted? Now see here. Now we will verify the second law. So all of you see here, and this you will not make, which I am going to draw here. Here, what is the angle of incidence? So angle of incidence, you know, it is the angle between incident wave and normal. This is the normal. This will be the angle of incidence. It is clear? Now if you see, इस लाइन के परपेंडिकुलर कौन सी लाइन है? ए बी. इसके परपेंडिकुलर कौन सी लाइन है? ये रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस. तो जो एंगल ये होगा वही क्या होगा? दिस. इट्स क्लियर? दिस इज एंगल बिटवीन इंसिडेंट वेव एंड नॉर्मल इज द एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस. दिस यू नो. नाउ इफ यू सी, this is this line AB is perpendicular to the incident wave and reflecting surface is perpendicular to the normal. Therefore, the angle between this and this, which is I, will be equal to angle between this and this, which is I. Means we can say angle between incident wave front and reflecting surface is angle of incidence. So in the same way, angle between reflected wavefront and reflecting surface is angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. So you write down, no need to make this thing. It is clear? Only you write down I and R. I and R. So you write angle between incident wavefront, AB and reflecting surface sigma is angle of incidence. That is angle BAC equals to I. This you write down, BAC equals to I. Similarly, angle between reflected wavefront and reflecting surface. Angle between reflected wavefront CD, and reflecting surface sigma is angle of reflection. Therefore, angle DCA equals to R. Angle DCA equals to R. Now, all of you see here, in triangle ABC and triangle ADC, you can see here in both the triangle ABC and triangle ADC, this angle is equal to this angle y 90 degree. This side is equal to this side y, both are having the same length c into t, and hypotenuse AC is common. AC is hypotenuse, it is in front of 90 degree, So you can write angle B equals to angle D, it is equal to 90 degree. Then BC equals to, we will prove congruency here, BC equals to AD, it is equal to C into T, and AC equals to AC. This is common. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to the triangle ADC. By which congruency? RHS congruency. It's clear? And when both the triangles are congruent, then you can see angle BAC will be equal to DCA. Angle BAC will be equal to angle DCA. Therefore, angle BAC equals to angle DCA. Angle BAC is angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. Therefore, laws of reflections are verified. Laws of reflections are verified.